Can't we just... Can't we talk?
What is there to say? Hi, son. How are the grandkids?
How are they?
Oh, by the way, I put your mom in a rest home so I could stay there and take care of my goats and my pigs and my stupid horse. Because God forbid, I actually look after my sick wife. You put her in a home. You decided she wasn't good enough for you, and you put her in a home.
She was getting forgetful. If they found out. Oh, shit. That piece of information makes all of this so tragic. Welcome back to Adios. I think I'm saying that right. Adios. I think it's goodbye in a romance language. Anyways, welcome back. Last time we played, we found out that our character is a farmer, pig farmer, working for the mob to help them dispose of bodies. Very pleasant situation, but we don't want to do that anymore. But because we're working for the mob, saying no to them inherently means that we are now something to be disposed of. But we've been working for them for 15 years. And this character that we work for has a connection with us and doesn't want to have to do that to us or dispose of us. And is trying to convince us to change our minds. It's very emotional. And it says that our character is talking about how lonely they are and how they miss things. And the other character is trying to convince us how much we still have in our life. Having said that, we now have a shotgun. Trying to practice gun safety when everything you look at is where the gun gets pointed is extremely difficult in games. Name a father that couldn't. We had just been talking about how we see ourselves as a father. Saying that we could have been a better father. Name a father that couldn't. So how do we do this? Who's going first? I'll go first.
All right, then.
But you just scooted over.
Hanging out, shooting guns. Maybe a few beers next time.
I'm not sure guns and beers mix, friend.
Exactly.
Oh, sure they do. Like peanut butter and very dangerous chocolate. Next time. Try.
Just because people drink alcohol, just because people do something, doesn't mean it's a good idea. It doesn't mean it's safe. Be safe with guns. Gun safety. Please. Please, gun safety. I also like how our character is like... I get the feeling that both these characters are veterans, but like our character is like a veteran who chose to go back in a pacifist type way. Chose to go back to Vietnam in a pacifist type way. Is like, don't drink while you shoot.
That's me. Next time.
No. Oh, I have to...
Gonna be a next time.
Oh, there's always a next time.
You were arguing this.
After today, we are done.
I've tried to tell you. I keep trying to tell you. There is no out. There is no done. You keep doing this. You never do anything again. It's permanent. Kaput.
And it's kaput.
You don't mean it.
If that's the way it's gotta be.
You have a choice.
You haven't listened to a word I've said.
But they have chosen.
I've been listening.
Fucking
I've been
hell.
listening all morning. I've been listening to you talk about being sad and lonely and refusing to listen to reason.
I have my reasons.
Your reasons aren't any good.
But they're mine.
Walk me to my car.
Whoa. Let me process this. Normally, I would sit here and say, what are you gonna do? Force me? But that also, that feels like a really weird perspective to take when we're talking about like choosing death or choosing something that causes death. It feels like a weird, the arguments that I might normally make feel really weird there. And I want to own that. That idea, there are so many conflicting perspectives here that honestly, I feel like we see in our everyday lives, just not about this exact situation. We have this suited gentleman whose name I still don't know. We're gonna call you, I was gonna say Bob, but our son's name is Bill. We're gonna call you Mark for the sake of discussion. Mark here has not been listening to us, but he tells us with his words that he is listening to us. But at the same time, with his words, he tells us that he's not listening to us. We see this all the time in our lives. Because to sit in a room with someone, this is out in the open, but bear with me. To sit in a room with someone and to say, like, to sit in a room while someone talks is not the same as actually listening. It's not active listening, if you will. It's not paying attention. It's not digesting the information. This character, Mark, has been going with us to these different spots, but he's not actually like digesting the information that we are telling him. He's not being empathetic. That's a better way to put it. He's not being empathetic. He's not trying to actually understand our perspective. He is judging it that it is wrong, and that judgment is creating a barrier to understanding and empathy. Because he fucking yells, right? Because we are trying to convey that just because our perspective is different, right? This is pretty similar to how our character phrased it. Just because our perspective, our emotions are different from his does not make them wrong. Our character is using language that is a lot more gentle and talks about a lot more emotions. That is kind of shocking for someone who grew up in this time period where emotions was not something that was openly talked about. So I also picture that as something where the character that we're playing, I need a name for our character. Jason. Our character is Jason. So our character, I imagine, would have had to have gone through a lot of personal growth that they would have had to have initiated, which is a lot in my mind. That's huge. That's fantastic, right? It's not just the sense that Jason went out and got the soda machines and repaired them. It's that they went out of their way to learn about emotions and grief and how to communicate and express yourself. But when Mark is sitting there saying, you have been telling me, but like, they're not sitting there. I guess when I picture this, I picture a much more helpful conversation or a much more helpful perspective that Mark could have taken would be something like, you keep saying these things. God, that sounded like Princess Bride. Something like, you keep saying these things, but I don't understand. Like, can you explain to me why these things are so important to you, or something like that? And honestly, I don't even know, actually, as I say that out loud, thinking out loud here, I don't know if that would be enough. Let's say Mark said that and Jason did explain it, and Jason explains this stuff in a very articulate way. Jason explains this shit pretty damn good. I don't know if Mark would get it. And the reason why I say that is because Mark has these perspectives that are very rigid about, it's all about utility. It's all about productive. Like, the things that Mark values are all about being, if something is useful, if something is productive. How do emotions fit into that? These two men have very different core values. Mark's core values, what is important to Mark, does not involve emotions. That's the problem. That's why these two men have very different core values, and that's why they are not hearing each other and understanding each other. To be fair, though, I do think that Jason understands Mark a little more, because I think that I don't think that he's listening to Mark necessarily, but he's already made up his mind, and the difference is that he does not need Mark to listen to him. Whereas Mark desperately wants Jason to listen to him, and he's not getting that. But then he's so frustrated because, like, you keep repeating emotions. You keep repeating emotions. You keep repeating that you're lonely, that you're tired. And it's like, but you're not listening to me. And the reason why Jason isn't upset is because he doesn't need the other person to listen to him. His decision is made regardless of whether or not the other person listened or not. If this was a situation that was not this particular situation, it would be helpful to take a break. It would be helpful to sit here if we recognize that we're getting upset, it would be helpful to say, hey, I don't want to be upset right now. I would love to be able to take a break and come back to this conversation. And I feel like saying that is really helpful because it lets the other person know that we value this conversation and we do want to come back to it. And we're not just like abandoning it, but also to be able to say something like, hey, I'm really confused about whatever's going on. And to explain our perspective, something like, hey, I'm really confused about why you keep talking about emotions, or why you keep talking about loneliness. Can you explain that more to me? Because that's not how I see it. Or even like something like that to opens up the door to more communication. It opens up the door to have conversations that are deeper than what has already been talked about. It also at a certain point shows what our current level of understanding is. Because let's say Mark said that and Jason's like, actually, that's not what I've been saying. That gives an opportunity for there to be any corrections if there has been a misunderstanding. So I think there are some very core differences in values between these two characters. There's a lot of not listening that's going on, and a lot of frustration is coming about as a result of that. The value in learning about this, even if it's from a game, is because this stuff happens in our real life too. If both of these characters wanted to actually resolve what was going on, which I don't think they do because it's part of the plot point of the game. Let's say they did. They could resolve it if they both came at communication honestly wanting to listen and being willing to have more of those type conversations where it's like, hey, I don't understand this. Can you explain this? Even though that's some vulnerability. I didn't even get to shoot the shotgun. I also didn't press the button that said pull. Goodbye. That's ominous, isn't it?
This is it then.
It's been all day.
Why? Why are you doing this?
Because I need to.
We're friends, goddammit. You don't get to get all stoic on me. I know losing her was hard, but there's gotta be something. Gotta be.
I can't take care of the farm like I used to. There isn't much point anymore.
So sell the farm. Move into the city. Meet someone new.
Do you believe in hell?
What?
Do you believe in hell?
I'm not scared of hell, if that's what you mean.
That wasn't the question.
If you were scared, I asked.
Yeah.
If you believe.
I don't know.
Well, I do. And I think doing this, I think that's where I'm headed.
And why? You think you can buy your way into heaven?
I can't take back what I've done. What I can do is do something right.
Kind of like going back to Vietnam as a
Because I wanna see her
photographer.
again. That's all. I just want to see her again.
Yeah.
And I figured
She was his world.
I'll do one right thing with my life. Just one thing. Maybe I'll get to see her again. One more time.
And this is your one right thing.
It is.
In a way, maybe we could call this bargaining.
No.
When we talk about the stages of grief and loss.
I don't know. But I got the notion, and the notion's got me. So, least I can do is tell you adios.
Just like that.
What else is there to say?
Not much, I guess.
No.
All right, then. Have it your way. I'll be back this evening. You get an afternoon. Do whatever you gotta do. Just, leave the door unlocked.
I can do that.
Adios, friendo.
Be seeing ya.
How are we going to spend our last evening? My first thought is contact our son. See if there are any of Sadie's things. Is that the basement? How do I get to the basement? So there are two things that we can do. This is outside. Okay. Journal. Check on the horse, catch the fish, call the boy, call the neighbor. So we are going to call our son. I hope the game gives me enough time to do all these things. Oh, Bill's room. The ham radio. I can't really look at that. Oh, sorry, Bill's stuff. I guess I expected more stories, I guess, about stuff when we entered rooms. This is a massive bathroom. Is this like a walk-in shower? Jesus. Why is there no mirror? This is just like the very practical element of not wanting to look at our character. Or not wanting to have to like put a character in. What about the main bedroom? Oh, we have a full-on place to do our photography stuff. Can we actually process it? Oh, wrong button. We just look at stuff. Wish there was more that we could do. There was something here. Oh, I bet, yeah, it's the film. Sewing machine. I guess I thought there would be more of Sadie's stuff. Well, let's go do whatever it is that I know how to get to it. Even if it's sad, in its own way, it's still...
Alrighty. Come on now. Come on now. That's a good boy.
Even if we chose this, or wanted this in some way, it's still sad. It's giving up hope that things could change.
Granny Smith, just like you like. Good boy. Good boy. You've been real good to me. You know that? Brought me a lot of good luck. Good times. Without you, I don't,
Companionship.
I do not know.
Doesn't have to be human.
I want to thank you for all you've done. Gonna go ahead and leave the barn door open behind me when I go. You want to leave, you go find someone else. I figure I'll just, I'll leave you to it.
Oh, wait, I got one more apple. Hi. Catch the fish, call the boy. Call the neighbor. The boy thing makes me think of God of War, which I've not played, but I know the reference. Are we really gonna leave the barn door open? We don't have to do that ourselves? Everything else must be downstairs, because I don't see any other markers. Oh. Just getting the fishing rod. Catch Admiral. Can I sit in the chair? Oh good, it's in front of me. That was behind me for a second. Where's my bobber so I know when to reel it in?
Come on.
I don't want to break the line.
Ooh,
Am I eating you? Or keeping you? Where's the cooler? Where's... Cooler! Oh, that isn't Admiral. That wasn't Admiral.
come on.
You're not Admiral?
Nice catch.
This is my last one? I'm confused about Admiral. It feels like there's a story behind this.
Come on.
But again, I'm not sure if we're gonna eat admirals like a last hurrah or keep them. Like keep them safe.
Nice catch.
You're not admiral either. You know, game, there's a reason why I don't go fishing. What's this fucking fish?
Come on.
Pay more attention. I'll break it. You're big. Okay. That's it? I'm just catching you? I'm not doing anything with you? So was that just for enjoyment? I guess I'm surprised that there wasn't like more to it. We didn't even talk to the fish. You know, you've been playing horror games for a while and you expect to see someone in the window. It's a lot of faith that they would have had that we wouldn't just run somehow. Granted, if we would have run. Couldn't we have just done that? Or just like not quit, I suppose? Oh, phone. Edith, Bill. Edith? But it calls for me.
Hello?
Hey, Edie. It's...
Oh, hey, you. How are you doing? You know, I was just talking about you with Garth the other day.
Isn't Garth our, like...
You know, we ought to visit.
Yeah, Edie, listen. I don't
Enemy?
mean to interrupt.
Neighbor?
It's just,
Who wanted Sadie?
I'm on a tight schedule, and I need you to do me a favor, all right?
A favor? Sure. What you need?
I'm going to be out of town. For
Someone to
a few
take care of the
days.
farm.
Oh? Finally taking my advice and visiting family?
Oh, about that. Can you take care of the animals or I won't be coming back? Why is that other one grayed out? I guess it doesn't matter. Can you take care of the animals?
I was wondering if you and Garth could make sure the animals were fed and watered, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, sure. We ain't got much going on.
Making sure the animals are
Thanks,
taken
Edie.
care of.
Listen...
Because they're vulnerable.
I,
They can't take care of themselves.
Evan, what are you doing? Get down from there. Sorry, cats. Anyway, what were you saying?
Would you mind taking care of the animals? So we have to repeat ourselves.
Yeah, the animals. I got them fed and watered for today. They should be good for tomorrow, too. But if it's too much of an imposition...
Not at all. We're happy to be imposed upon. You've been a good neighbor for so long. I'm glad you called me today. In fact, just the other day, I said to Garth, I said, if we don't visit, then we should host. Reach out, say hello, put together a little neighborly get-together. And you know what he said? He said, well, Edie, if we did that, we'd just... Oh, you know what? Let me go get him for you. It's better when he tells it. Garth?
Wow, she just keeps talking past what the subtitles say.
Come say hello. What do you mean you don't want to talk? But he could use another friendly voice right now. And it's been so long since... I'm sorry. Garth's out working. Now, what was I saying again? Oh, right, the get-together. I was thinking I'd make my famous roast with potatoes and carrots. Have I made you my carrots? I don't like to toot my own horn, but you are in for a treat the way I do them.
It's grayed out. We can't say there's so many things I wish I could say or I'm gonna miss you, Edie.
I think I still have some of
That's
your pork
sad.
from Easter in the
I
freezer.
kind of want to say one of those two things.
Nobody raises pigs like you do, I swear. Though now that I think of it, I guess we might not be able to have the get-together for a while if you're going out of
Thank
town.
you, Edie.
Hey, you should drop on by next Saturday.
Feels rude to interrupt her, too.
We're going out to the Harvest Festival with the grandkids, and I know how lonely it's been, what with Sadie gone and all. You should come with.
Well, I appreciate the thought, Edie. I don't think I'll be back in town by then, though. Sorry.
Sad.
That's too bad. It's been real nice seeing you coming back to church again.
Oh, it's been real nice being welcomed back. But now I gotta go. Chores and such. You know how it is.
Oh, I sure do. Well, come on over sometime. Just got some gooseberries in. We're making pies, and we'd love to have you. I know they're your favorite.
That they are. Gotta go now.
See ya.
It's kind of sad that we can't tell her that we're not coming back even. It doesn't quite feel like a goodbye. Now we get to call our son.
Come on, pick up. Please pick up.
Dad?
Boy.
Bill, well, now how'd you know it was me?
Caller ID.
Caller ID.
I don't know what that is.
It's new. Tells me who's calling.
Huh, that's some real fancy stuff you got there.
Uh-huh. Listen, I'm busy. Why are you calling?
This is the kind of conversation where, like, if his son rushes him off the phone, I feel like he'd regret it. It's like the last call you have with your dad. But, like, nobody knows. I miss you. Please don't hate me because this is the last time we'll ever get to speak. I can't choose those. And I don't know why. And it could just be because of the conversation choices that I had earlier in the game. I missed you. Okay. Oh yeah, if I try to choose them, he just says, I missed you.
Just, hadn't talked in a while.
And whose fault is that?
Wow. I never should have let her go. Can we just talk?
Can't we talk?
What is there to say? Hi, son. How are the grandkids?
How are they?
Oh, by the way, I put your mom in a rest home so I could stay there and take care of my goats and my pigs and my stupid horse. Because God forbid, I actually look after my sick wife. You put her in a home. You decided she wasn't good enough for you, and you put her in a home.
She was getting forgetful. If they found out. Oh, shit. That piece of information makes all of this so tragic. I mean, it already is sad. The game is already sad. I mean, I say that like it's not sad, but like, I'm assuming that Sadie, just based on that comment, I am assuming that Sadie knew what was happening on the farm. That she knew somehow because maybe she questioned where the money came from or something like that. But then she got sick. So Jason, for lack of a better term, Jason only started doing this work and this business because his kid was sick. His motivation has always been his family. His kid was sick. His kid, like, you need money for medical care in America. To seek medical care without wondering about the cost is a certain level of privilege. And his kid needed medical care. And so he started doing this work with the mob to help pay for medical care for his kid. That was what they said at the very beginning of this game. And they did make one comment, if I remember right, about it being like him and Sadie who made that decision. So Sadie did know about it, is my understanding. But this comment too also implies that she knew about it. But then Sadie got the types of things that we usually say when we talk about someone going into an assisted living home or a group home or something like that. One of those is more mental healthy than the others, and I can't remember which. But usually when we talk about someone getting to that place, it's because of like dementia or Alzheimer's. And he talks about this as though, like, the option that I cannot choose is that he had no choice but to put her there, because if the mob found out that Sadie was forgetting things because of Alzheimer's or dementia, that would put her life in danger with the mob, and he couldn't handle that. Like, Sadie was always his love. He was like, they were high school sweethearts. Family has always been his motivation. But because of this deep, dark secret, he can't tell anybody. His own son doesn't even know that this has been such a big thing in their lives. Their lives, even. That makes it so much... That makes it worse. No wonder he wants to stop doing what he's doing. This is the reason why his wife died. Or his kid has no relationship with him. It's not technically the reason why his wife died, but why she died the way that she did. Why she couldn't stay at the home, why he couldn't take care of her. This also does make it feel a little more like maybe it is a bit of suicidal thoughts or ideas, or maybe dying. Maybe it is equal parts wanting to die and equal parts not doing this anymore. Because this makes me wonder if this character sees it as, I did this terrible thing that has shattered my family, even though the intention was to bring it together to heal my family. And because I made this choice that shattered my family, maybe I deserve to die. It's sad. I don't like it. I didn't know what to do. I can't choose that option either.
I didn't know what to do. The doctors there, they would.
How hard could it be? Alzheimer's isn't some terrifying boogeyman. It wasn't it you who told me to stay with the ones you love, no matter what? So what? You didn't love her anymore?
He was trying to protect her. But Bill doesn't know that, because Bill doesn't know the secret. She was scared of me, Bill. She couldn't remember who I was, and one day she woke up and looked at me and she screamed, and I can't choose it. Don't
you dare.
You gave her up. You gave her up to doctors and nurses. You know what they do to people in homes.
I think the saddest part of something like Alzheimer's are those moments when people that you love, the people who you care about because you remember who they are, the people who are like the most important people to us, our partners, our parents, our kids, don't remember us as a person. Like they don't. And this is often like when Alzheimer's has progressed to a point where it can't be ignored. Usually there are signs earlier on that let us know like, oh, this is a thing. But to have someone who's like a parent look at their child and to have no clue who they are, like there's no flash of recognition, is fucking heartbreaking. And the same with like a parent. Any like when we think of people who've been married for 30 fucking years or however long, right? And parents and kids, those are relationships that you think come hell or high water, you would be remembered. Alzheimer's takes that away. Alzheimer's takes away some of the things that make us us. Our memories of the people that have impacted us and made us who we are, our actual memories of the things that make us who we are, and our personality, our ability to even move, literally, and function, all of those things. And it takes us and just degrades us, and we're not even who we are. And some of it we won't, like, if it was like us that we're talking about, like if I had Alzheimer's, some of it I wouldn't remember inherently. Like that's kind of like, I guess, the irony. But some of it people are aware of. Which is also sad to like have a moment of realization that you don't recognize your own kid. Or you didn't recognize your own spouse. Those are the saddest moments of Alzheimer's for me. This is also talking about homes, so assisted living homes. There may be another term for that I'm spacing right now. And our society does not treat the elderly very well. Once we get to a certain age, we become vulnerable again. Kind of like kids are vulnerable. And it's a reminder that we are aging and that we are someday gonna die. It's a reminder of our own mortality. And nobody likes to think of that. Nobody likes to face that. We spend a great deal of time, energy, and effort avoiding that. A lot of plastic surgery, a lot of anti-aging stuff is all about trying to avoid that possibility. And so to have that be in our face and have that be a constant reminder is not something that society views as very pleasant. And so oftentimes these homes and facilities are kind of tucked away, they're ignored. People don't get visitors very often. And I feel like that is the idea that these characters are talking about, this idea that Bill's mom, so Sadie, was put into a home and then like just ignored. But their miscommunication is over the intent and why, which I feel like is an important component to this. But then our character doesn't feel like he can bring that up, which will inherently cause miscommunications. You gave her up. You gave her up to doctors and nurses. You know what they do to people in those homes. What else could I have done? What else? I took care of her until I couldn't anymore. We can't choose that one. I tried to find her the best home. We would have had more resources for that, but she wouldn't have been at a home that she knew. There is no winning something like this. There's no good choice. Both are valid in their own way.
It was the best home money could buy.
Money. You and your damn money. Cared more about being a rich pig farmer than the people you were supposed to love.
That's not true. I could see how it would feel true for this character, but it's not true for the character that we play. But we can't communicate that. It's a built-in miscommunication. I did everything for you two. How do you think I made all that money, Bill? No such thing as a rich pig farmer. At least not in the meat. Yeah, but we can't say that.
Hey, I loved you both. I did everything for you, everything.
Yeah, right.
Bill, I didn't want this call to...
You wanted to put my mom in a home. So I'm not sure what you want matters.
Bill, I just called to say...
Say what? Sorry? Did you know I visited her? I found out where you put her, and I visited her.
Please don't say she talked. They're listening. Please don't say she talked. It's good that Sadie had visitors.
They said you visited sometimes.
She was my wife, Bill.
She cried, Dad. She cried. She wept and she sobbed and she kept asking me where you were. She was so scared, Dad. She was so scared. She wanted you to take her home.
The doctor said sometimes she was lucid, but I couldn't.
She was lucid, Dad. And I held her hand as she sobbed herself to sleep. And I kept holding her hand until they told me I had to go. Where were you? Taking care of your precious chestnuts? Feeding your heritage breed pigs?
No, Bill, I...
Save it. Talk to your goats or your pigs or whatever it is you do.
I hate that we can't tell him that we love him. I feel like that would be helpful for both characters. It's not going to change much, but if you're going to have one last conversation with your kid, I sure as shit hope you can tell him that you love him. And the same for like the kid's perspective. If you're going to have one last conversation, hopefully you can hear him tell you that he loves you.
I just wanted to tell you goodbye, Bill. I've got some of your stuff all boxed up. If you wouldn't mind coming by in a few days to pick it up.
We'll see.
Goodbye, son.
You'll never make this right, Dad.
I'm still trying.
Shit, he is. Damn. That is a brutal phone call. Oh, the dog! No!
Hey, Brody, how you been?
What are we gonna say to our dead dog as a goodbye? Let's sit down.
I I know I don't drop by as much as I ought. I ain't got an excuse.
That's who Brody is. The dog. That's who's buried here. That's why the tree is meaningful. I remember, or we had good times. Let's go with I remember.
I still remember when I picked you up.
Aww.
Bill hadn't been himself lately. And I wanted him to, I wanted him to smile again. Oh, he saw you and I could see that spark in his eyes. The boy was still mad at me, though, and I guess he had a right to be. But you he loved. And I think he came around on me, too, for a time.
It's a very peaceful spot. Pat the grave. Listen to the wind. Let's listen to the wind.
You want to know something, Brody? I always believe dogs go to heaven, because all dogs is fundamentally good. Even the mean ones, they're good too. They're just, hurt or starving or, sick or scared. So,
Exactly.
I know where you are. And I know Sadie's probably with you right now. I done wrong, Brody. I done a lot of wrong. And I don't know if I can make up for it. I want to tell you I'll see you soon, but the truth is I do not know. I don't know if I was good enough for you. Or her. I don't know if I did my best. So, this may be goodbye. I love you. And I miss you all the same.
All the goodbyes. Oh, damn, we are full on cooking a meal. Why are we getting the shotgun? Oh. Who's the shotgun gonna be used on? Are these? This is a rifle, right? That's a rifle. Fuck is the shot? Oh, there it is. Again, who is this the last meal? Again, like, is this a we're gonna defend ourselves, or we won't need our friend to come and assist us, if you get my drift? Okay, well. It's kind of at the dining room table. Oh, is this not the dining room? Ew. Wait, there's 2 rounds. Are we gonna shoot our friend and then us? There's so many twists and turns. Okay. I don't know if we're making all these. Curry, stew, steak. Steak. Chop, cook. Stock, curry powder. Potato, carrot, onion. Curry, or just steak. I'd rather make curry, so let's make curry. Okay, steak, chop, cook. Where's our, oh, okay, here's our cooker. Well, let's get out a steak. Steak. Chop. Don't eat. Don't eat things that have fallen on the ground. Close enough. Don't use a dirty knife. Cool. Where did it go? Cook steak. How closely do I have to? Okay. Then I put you in the pot. Yes. Add. We're gonna add you to the pot. Okay. Stock. Can I make coffee while I do this? Stock. Stock. Mild. Is that what you are? Death. The hot is death. I'm assuming you're curry powder. You're just mild, but mild what? I can make tea? That's cute. You got a lot of salt here. I'm sorry, I don't think that's meat. I don't. Meat product. Ooh, beans, corn, that's a lot of coffee. Tuna. Beans, salt, beans, soap. No, that's soap that slaps. Tea. Cornies? What are cornies? Cornies and corn. Potatoes. How am I gonna chop it if my knife disappeared? My knife dis-a-fucking-peared. Oh, there it is! Oh my gosh, this is the most stressful game of cooking ever. 2 potatoes. Potato. Ooh. Go over there. Pick up my other potato. And over there. Nope. Okay, knife. Don't use knives that have been on the floor. Potato. Chop. And chop. And throw you. Jesus, they almost came back to my face. You go to the pot. You go into the pot. Oh, what is that? A burrito. Well, that's not a good last meal. I mean, it's fine. A burrito's fine if that is what you want. Of the options given to me that I understood at the time, where's that fucking knife? I chose curry. Oh my god. That's not it. That's a burrito. Where is that fucking knife? This is one of those things where it's like, you get down low on the ground. Low, and you're like, where are you? These are floor carrots now. They live on the floor. Motherfucker! How does anybody cook in this house? Okay, I'm just making sure that it's not like somewhere where you stay there. Where is that it? Oh my god, how did it get all the way over there? Okay, we're gonna take out all of our choppables. I'm gonna chop them all at once because I can't trust that stupid knife. Seriously, how does anybody cook anything in this house? No wonder we all eat frozen burritos. You stay. No! Where's the other one? Oh, thank god. You go over there. You stay here. I can't trust you. Press the wrong button. And now the knife is lost. Oh god, it's not lost to the great beyond. Okay, it's a different button to chop than to pick up. Okay, onion. Don't cry. Okay. Put you down. No! You know what? At least I know you're there. Oh my gosh. I don't think this cooking part is supposed to be this stressful. There. Go. There. Go. Whew. Ooh, that looks good. Place the meal. Wait, oh, okay. Sit down at the table. I'm nervous. Harry's house. Oh, we ate our food? We fucking cleaned that dish. Was I supposed to get the shotgun? What's the point of the shotgun? Edie plays herself. Oh man. I really like this game. I think it's incredibly sad. I kind of expected that going into it though. Again, that one Steam review stands out in my brain. Where they let you shoot a shotgun, which I never did. But the main weapon is melancholy, so I kind of expected it to be sad. I guess I didn't expect it to be like that kind of a sad. Which implies that there are different levels of sadness, but that's not what I mean. Just like the way that we're constantly saying goodbye. And the way that it's nobody's fault. That's sad. It's the kind of sad, too, that makes me feel bad for characters who aren't like the main character. Like his son, where the last conversation that you had with your dad, you didn't get to say goodbye. And if you were to find out the truth, how would that be for you? There's a lot of different layers to that. A lot of this is the feeling that every character's feelings are valid. We may not agree with their actions, especially like killing people and disposing of bodies. Like, you know, we may not agree with their actions, but how they feel about how they feel about where they're at currently feels valid, considering the information that they know. I guess that's how I look at it. The game is really well written as far as emotions go and grief. But the part that really, I think, is written to pull on your heartstrings is all of the goodbyes. Not necessarily the fishing, the conversation with the son, because that's really like when you find out why so much of this has been done. But even saying goodbye to the dog, where it's like, these are the little moments in life. Again, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, where I don't feel like I'm good enough. And this idea of, I am hoping to get into heaven, but if I don't, and I realize that heaven is something that depends on our own personal belief system, but this idea of, if I don't get into heaven, I still want to say goodbye to this dog. And if I don't get into heaven, I believe that you, not me as a person, but like from this character's perspective, like they believe that the dog is inherently with Sadie. And so it's almost like pass this message along if I don't get there. For a game that is as short as it is, and is in a way, it's a walking simulator, it is very emotional and it immediately plops you into those emotions. I would love to hear your thoughts on the game in the video, and I will see you next time.